you have a fantastic Brexit that sets us up for the next generation and ensures our prosperity. So it's a really exciting and good paper looking at Britain's position not just in the European context, but globally. And the key to it, to my mind, is that it is deliverable.
That was a Conservative member of the British Parliament on Brexit. British Prime Minister Theresa May says that Brexit negotiations between Great Britain and the European Union have reached an impasse. The two sides are working to negotiate a deal that was ignited by Britain's June 2016 vote to leave the EU. Both sides have now proposed deals which have been denied by the other without much deliberation. Here to break down the two positions and the ongoing debate is Talking Points analyst Anthony Dabbundo. So, Anthony, let's start things off. What was proposed and what got shot down?
So, Prime Minister Theresa May came out with a plan called the Checkers Plan, and she proposed a plan that included multiple things. One of the biggest things that's been the biggest debate has been trade. So Britain wants to maintain that open borders regarding free trade of goods, but they want to have tariffs and imports on services. The EU is saying, no, we can't allow that. You're either going to go a full free trade deal or we're going to completely cut ties. So Theresa May is trying to walk this fine line here regarding that and regarding the border in Ireland, where she's saying they want to keep open borders with Ireland, and Britain is against, or the EU is again saying, if you want to have this Brexit, you can't have the open borders in Ireland because Ireland is a member of the EU. So there's a lot of contention regarding immigration and regarding trade.
Mm-hmm. And were those the most contentious points, would you say, or were there other things that, were particularly heated?
Right. The problem here is that neither side is willing to negotiate. So May had this Checkers Plan, and she's receiving a lot of political pressure from her own party. But May has this plan, and the EU didn't even really consider it. They're just saying we're not going to allow this at all. And the EU proposed their own plan, and May said we're not even going to consider that. She called it disrespectful. That was the word she used. So there's not really any movement towards a deal, and they've kind of reached an impasse.
So what can we expect going forward, knowing that the Checkers Plan is dead and EU is playing hardball with Great Britain?
Well, both sides are under political pressure. The EU is in a situation where if they let England off with a good deal, easily we could see multiple countries leave the EU. They could crumble. It's very easy to see a scenario like that. And for Theresa May, she has conservatives in her own party like Boris Johnson leaving the party and leaving the cabinet and saying, you're not even trying to get a good deal. Why did we even vote on Brexit if you're not going to enforce what we voted on? Because the vote was over 2 years ago now. So there's political pressure on both sides. May has to get a good deal for Britain. EU has to make sure that they don't get cheated and that they don't have other people deciding to leave too.
So given all this pressure, do you think the two sides are going to be able to come to an agreement at all?
Right now, it doesn't seem that way. They've reached the point where we're going to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Eventually, I think Britain is under more pressure to cave because if they go under this no-deal Brexit, as they're calling it, where it's a complete break from the EU, the UK stands to lose more both economically, trade-wise, and immigration-wise. Their plan to close off borders, their plan to limit travel, all of that hurts their economy, and May can't have that. If she has a re-election campaign coming up, she has all of the elections coming up, she has to worry about pressure from her own party, so she can't be seen taking these bad deals. Right. So I think that the UK eventually has to cave.
Certainly big implications for all of Europe. Anthony Dabbundo.